insert there. I'm sure Jeff is going to talk more about his excitement. And, the theme was Believe in You, but I think the theme should have been the summit of the selfie because, oh my goodness, the selfies everywhere, every corner. You have found a way to master the selfie pictures. So I'm very impressed, by the way. So we have a lot to go over today. I want to give a couple of prizes today to 2 winners from last week's contest. The question number 1, what is one of the catchphrases on this bottle? If you have the bottle or you're doing the To Be Mindset program, I'm sure you know it was water's first, veggies most, out of sight, out of mind, usum, 2 hands on the wheel. There were so many that came in, so it's pretty exciting how many of you are enjoying the To Be Mindset program. And we have a winning answer from Diamond Coach from Beulah, North Dakota, JC Shank. And then question number 2 was about July 7th, Super Saturday. And that is the upcoming one is going to be our 20th, 30th, or 40th episode. And those of you that did your math right, it's our 30th episode. So we've been doing Super Saturdays since 2011. And I think last year we only had 3 Super Saturdays, but we're back to the 4 a year. So we have a winning coach from Midlothian, Virginia, Erin Renfro. So congrats to you both. You're going to get something fun from our Utah Prize Closet. Now, a couple things. If you have never played before and you want to win a prize, all you have to do is listen or watch this live show and answer right on Facebook, or you can also do it via email at coachcall@beachbody.com. So we find our answers in both spots. So here we go, and I'm just going to see if I need to mute. I'm good. All right. So here are the 2 questions. Number 1, the super workout at Summit was epic. And if you've ever been to a super workout, you know that there's a very famous person who handles the water. And he is a water boy. Who is that water boy? So at the super workout, there's a very famous person who hands out water to those who need it. It's very fun. And number 2, something very cool is happening to Be Mindset. I'm very excited about it. And you can offer more support to your customers. So what was announced at Summit coming soon is something happening with To Be Mindset. So share that with me. And that is it for the pre-call contest. Now it's time for the top of the hour and top of the call. Good morning, coaches. This is your wake-up call. Today's Monday, June 25th, and I've got 4 announcements to share with you today. So here I go. All right, June 25th, announcements. First announcements, Coach Summit. Thanks for being a part of it. If you were, we've got so many announcements that were made at Summit that you're going to want to check. Coach Breaking News, that's what CBN stands for. And TBB Coach 411, the social page, check out all that was announced. And if you want to see if you were in one of the pictures, go to tbbeventpics.com. We do that for every single event. It's a great memory, great way to share your excitement about the event and to see what you missed. #petting zoo. Anyway, those were all the pictures from Summit 2018. It's already in the record books. And Summit 2019, we're going back to Indiana. Okay, I can't get that song out of my head. Buy your ticket now for $130 for Summit 2019. I think a challenge was put out there that if every single person in the audience brought 1 or 2 guests, we'd have a packed stadium, and it makes for a very, very good summit. So get your ticket now. It is the lowest price we will ever offer for Summit 2019. So number 2 Super Saturday is July 7th. Now that all the momentum has hit with Summit, we're going to carry that momentum over to Super Saturday, July 7th. So please go to the coach office and register to host your own event or check out the map to attend your own event. Number 3 is Lift 4 live workout with Joel Freeman on June 30th at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Okay, this is new. This is fun experience. a free sample workout live with Joel Freeman and our cast members. And anyone can take advantage of this live workout. Just tune in to TBB Coach 411 social page, Facebook page, and Instagram pages. The FAQ is 7530 for that live workout. But don't forget, you can still get your customers $10 off a Lift 4 challenge pack or product bundle and get VIP early access when you purchase by July 31st. And you know that you can also, with the purchase, coaches can get into the exclusive coach test group with Joel Freeman and learn more about that. That FAQ is 7,500. Last but not least is Rachel Hollis, Girl Wash Your Face, and boys can wash their faces also. That is the prize that you will get once you achieve Success Club this month. You'll earn access to that webcast. So that is it for me. I'm going to step aside and introduce your president of global sales, Jeff Hill.
Sandy, after last weekend, you still have all that vim and vigor, and if I close my eyes, I'm like gone. But wow, what a weekend, right? It's like just now as I start to look back, I realize all of the incredible things that happened. I mean, people absolutely loved Indiana, loved Indianapolis. It was such a great venue, and we're going back. There's such excitement there. There's so many things, so many areas I want to go right now, and I really can't. But one, I want to just say thank you to all of our presenters at Summit who just rocked it, who delivered phenomenal content and help. Two, all the people at Team Beachbody, just our corporate team that made this thing magical, that created moments. And then I don't know how it happens, but in looking back, there's always the intangibles that just come together. We had great keynote speakers. Well, one of them was really good. One of them I didn't care for quite so much. And there's a story behind that. But anyway, Connie Podesta kind of called me out on some things that, anyway, you had to be there, right? But the thing that really mattered most, the moment that was the culmination that just put the crown on Summit, was when we introduced our Beachbody Challenge finalists and recognized the winners. They were all winners, but coming in the office this morning, talking to our team, the buzz wasn't about all the other stuff. The buzz was about how in that moment when we recognized those people and the tremendous accomplishments, the weight loss, how their lives have changed, not only on the outside, but on the inside, that was magical. And again, in the end, that's what it's all about, right? So just know that you're doing good stuff, and Summit brought that together. We're going to do some recaps at Super Saturday. So Super Saturday is important. You'll see all of the things that we announced, and if you didn't get a chance to attend, make sure you're there. And secondly, it's good for everybody else to know how to communicate that information to their team. So all great. And we have a great call this morning with Emilie Robidas, who is going to share with us how we can take that content, that information, organize ourselves so that we squeeze the most out of that and leverage it to the highest degree possible in our Beat Your Best contest promotion that we have in the month of July. We'll talk just a tad more about that later. But first, a lot of people move their businesses fast and hard in order to get recognized at Summit and to help their teams. So with that, I'm going to toss it over to none other than a very tired, but a guy that did over 600,000 pieces of recognition for Summit. So, and he did every one of those with his team, Angie Dickerson and others. But anyway, so Darren, let's toss it over to you and get this recognition on the road.
Sounds great, Jeff. Good morning. Welcome back. And good morning, coaches. If my eyes look a little, you'll understand why. But man, what a great event, an amazing event. We had so much fun, guys. And it's just awesome. I can't wait to do it again. But let's jump in now with our recognition for this last week. Here they are. I'm going to try and get my computer sounds like it's going to take off here in a minute with the fan going. But I'm going to share my screen. Let's get this thing started and see if we can do a little recognition. Where is it? Right there. Here we go. All right. Starting with, let's see, it's not going, but if I click that, there we are. All right. Starting with our new Diamond coaches. Here they are. Congratulations to Chelsea Ahoy, Nicole Aben, Kylie Baker, Carly Bengston, Lindsay Boatwright, Jonna Bogart, Amanda Bradley, Kristen Burkeen, Jamie Carlson, Tammy Carpenter, Natalia Carvalho, Julie Clark, Joanna Santos. From the UK, Jennifer Emery, Elizabeth Feldhaus, Cecilia Fink, Cassandra Fowler, Joanne Gilgerson, Carmen Gonzalez, Catherine Hartman, Michael Hedgepath, Heidi Howe, Tammy Husted, Amanda Johnson, Sarah Kevel, J. Lynn Luciano, Shelby Merrick, Stacy Macy, Raina McGill, Julio C. Mesa, Rebecca Miles, Lindy Miller, Haley Mons, Katie Mosley, Leanne Newell. From Canada, Lisa Pezic, Victoria Phillips. In a secondary CBC, Melissa Pipitone, Mary Catherine Pisano, Alyssa Prince, Emily Reynolds, Emily Rios. From Canada, Janine Ritchie, Gina Scarzella, Ali Shrivner, Melissa Senior. From Canada, Sarah Silva, and Michelina Silva, also from Canada. Jennifer Stenberg, Michelle Tegenkamp, Christy Thorstad, Lauren Valancourt, Leah White, and Cynthia Weiss. Way to go, guys. What a great list of new diamonds. Now to the Star Diamond coaches. Here we go. Congratulations to Christy Alquist, Sarah Barsick, Candace Petrosian, Rebecca Butterfield. In a secondary CBC, Kim Danger and Stephanie Daniello, Susan Doyle, Julie Kemp, Lauren Corellis, Jesse Meyer, Lacey Mers, Natalie Minahan. From Canada, these next two, Erin Murray and Christine Rago. Martha Robertson, Brian Rulison, Todd Slingsby. In a secondary CBC, Marcia Schmierka, Sindel Serdoval, and Molly Willie. All right, here we go. New 2-star diamond coaches this week. Congratulations. In a secondary CBC, Nicolette Anderson, Christina Bernard, Morgan Elliott. From Canada, Katrina Gogiel, Lindsay Maloney. In a secondary CBC, both Melanie Mitro and Ashley Molstad. Then we had John Molstad, and from Canada, Martin Zacharias. And moving on to our new 3-star diamond coaches, starting off in a secondary CBC, Micah Folsom, Candice McDermott, Patty Schaller, and also in a secondary CBC, Jamie Thompson. Now on to the 4-star diamond coach from Canada, Veronique Ouellette. I don't know if I said that right, but I did my best. Our newest 6-star diamond coaches, Samantha Glonek, and in a secondary CBC, Melissa McAllister. And our newest 7-star diamond coach, Jennifer Guthrie. Congratulations. And we have a new 8-star. That would be Kelsey Shackley. And now, coach, it's my pleasure to introduce two of our newest superstar diamond coaches. We had the pleasure of recognizing them on stage on Saturday morning. It was fantastic. Congratulations to Emily Faber and also Ashley Molstad. Way to go, guys. Fantastic. Now, that is it for rank advancements. Let's jump quickly to the top Success Club point earners for the week. Congratulations to, on top of that list, Ashley Molstad, Amy Silverman, Brianna Headley, Kelsey Shackley, and Natasha Pearson. All right. That is it for me. And if I could find my mouse to stop this share, I don't know how to do that. Here we go. All right. Back to you, Jeffrey.
All right. Oh, that's a Jeffrey this morning. I feel like I'm in trouble when you say that, but great job, Darren, and great job on putting that recognition together. So and let me just do a huge shout out to both Emily and to Ashley on Superstar Diamond. You know, that's remarkable. You know, and that's also the power of Summit. I mean, people set their goals towards Summit, and those guys pushed hard and made it happen. So, okay, we've got a great call with Emilie Robidas this morning. She is a remarkable coach, so let me just welcome her onto the call. Emilie, get on the call, and then I'm going to talk just a little bit about you. So she is a 2018 elite coach. She is a 4-time elite coach, 14-star diamond, 65 months in Success Club. Last year, 2017, she won the 2017 Leadership Award at Summit. She's a Million Club member. She's an executive leader on the leadership ladder. Get this, a 4-time winner as a Team Cup captain. And not only was she a winner 4 times, but she has inspired members on her team to spread out and to go for that, and they have also won it. So you talk about a legacy of creating winners, that's her. Last year, 45 of her customers participated in the Beachbody Challenge. So, you know, the list is long, right? So you can see why we've got her on this call. So Emilie, or Sandy, will you put her on the call? Is she there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can see you. Welcome. It's so good to see you this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm really honored to be here. I'm very excited to talk with you this morning.
Well, you know, and as a matter of fact, for those that didn't get to attend Summit, one shame on you. But anyway, we know that not everybody can make it. But we also recognized Emilie as the team captain for the 2017 August Team Cup, and we had a little moment on stage as well where she absolutely rocked it there like she's going to this morning. So congratulations on that. And honestly, we couldn't have a better person than you to be on this call this morning with all the things that you've done. So let's jump in, because we're going to talk about how people can take the Summit information and funnel it and get leverage out of it. But first, just 20 seconds of, so how was Summit? Scale of 1 to 10, what did you get out of it?
100. 100 on 10. It was an amazing experience. It always is. And I hear that all the time. And this time again, I hear so many people say, this is exactly what I needed right now. And I feel the same. I feel like I've got great messages, great stories to stay on fire, be inspired, and to remember how this is a responsibility of mine to keep working this business. And I know, like, sometimes we go to these events, we're on fire, we hear, you know, we go to those workshops, there's so much information, and then we go back home and sometimes we're like, okay, where do I start? Where do I begin? And I feel like the power focus today is what I want to talk about, because I feel like if you take time to just plan your activities and really decide what's important to you, what your goals are, you're going to be a lot more efficient at achieving your goals. And this is what I want to talk to you about, because I want to make sure that we don't become collectors of information, but masters of implementation. And that's what I'll teach you today.
Well, that's fantastic. So let's jump into that, because your content I know is going to be really solid. But first, for those that may not know you, let's just back up quickly and give a little bit of a little context to who is Emilie and how you got introduced to Team Beachbody. And then we're going to jump into the content on becoming masters of execution, on implementation on this. Okay?
Yes, so I became a coach in 2012, late 2012. I was at the end of my maternity leave with our first child, Leo. And while I was on maternity leave, I wanted to get back in shape. We had a wedding going, and where we were getting married on the beach in Mexico. So I had this big goal of looking good and feeling good on that wedding day. And I saw that infomercial in the middle of the night of Turbo Fire, and I thought that looked so cool. And I had a bit of experience with other programs from Beachbody, but never committed to a whole calendar. And then for that first time, I decided to just go all in and follow the 90 days of Turbo Fire. I fell in love with fitness. I got in the best shape of my life. We got married down south and we took pictures. And coming back, I shared the picture of my transformation in a fitness group on Facebook. And not knowing how my friends would see that picture, thinking only the people in the group would. But that ended up being a great thing, because my friends started to ask me what I did to get back in shape, what workouts was I doing to lose the baby weight. So I was just referring everybody to Beachbody. I had no idea there was a business opportunity behind it, business responsibility behind Beachbody. But one day I was in a mom's group again on Facebook, and I saw this girl who was talking about Turbo Fire, and I got so excited because, like, she knows a program that changed my life. So I went to chat with her. She added me to one of our groups on Facebook, and she saw that I was super excited, that I was posting every day, and I loved what I was doing with the program. And she just said, "Hey, have you ever thought of becoming a coach?" And I said, yeah. And I said, yes. So the rest is history. And here I am today, 5 years later. And I'm as excited, if not more, that I ever been since the beginning of this journey.
Well, and again, I want to just remind coaches, oftentimes we go 5 years, we fast forward, we look at Emilie, I read all those announcements out there, but lots of learning, lots of figuring stuff out along the way, a lot of implementation to do that. We ask the same questions pretty much every week, but I think they're key questions because it's good for people. When you made the decision to become a coach, you jumped in, but was there a time or a process where you found, it took me this long to really get my legs underneath me for it to really start to show some rewards?
Yes, absolutely. I was actually pretty good at retailing, sharing our programs, talking about the fitness. That was something that was very natural for me. That was in my comfort zone, if you will, even though at the beginning, when I first shared my workouts online, I was kind of scared, but it was more my comfort zone. And I was not talking so much about the business opportunity. And I remember one time I was sitting with Arnaud Nakara. I think I was since 6 months in the business, coming back from my first summit. And we sat down, we looked at my numbers, and he said, Emilie, if you want to build a successful business and have an income that's stable with residual income, you need to start focusing on building a team. And that was really a light bulb moment for me where I switched a bit my focus to solely focusing on the programs and the products that we had, but also being very intentional about talking about the business opportunity and sharing it with people. And this is how I really switched my focus to not just talk about the fitness, but also being intentional about building a team. And that really helped me create exponential results.
Well, it's easy to say, but this is a business. I always refer kind of to threefold thing. It is about recruiting. It's about sponsoring, excuse me, and bringing other people into the business. Two, it's about duplication, about taking yourself and building a team. And that oftentimes is the next step up, the leveling up, if you will, to build something that's sustainable. Then the third piece is creating a culture of loyalty and helping people that creates retention and stickiness within the business. And to me, those are really the three pillars. Okay, so let's jump in to your content. And I know that you're a master of this, but it's really about the power of setting goals, of organizing yourself, but then as important as those, really probably the most important, about implementation of those and execution on that. So I'm going to toss it over to you, let you run with this. And if there's something that I don't understand, then I'll jump in and get understanding.
Awesome. Thank you. So this call is based on a call that I've been doing for my coaches for a few years already. I've added some tweaks and new tools that I use on a daily basis. And the reason why I share this call so often and update it all the time is I feel like I myself, when I started this business, I felt disorganized. I felt like I was lacking focus. I felt like I was running after my tail. And I made a conscious decision at one point that I was going to work on becoming more efficient with my time, on fighting procrastination, and really become a master at implementing, a master at taking action, and really getting my focus on the things that matters most. So I have a few steps that I want to share with you today. And these are the things that I've done since I started becoming a coach, and I still do today. And I feel like if you take time to implement them, it'll help you get clarity and it'll help you get more done in less time. So the first thing, after coming back from Summit, I want you to think about your goals, to define them, and to think about what you want to reach maybe a year from now for next Summit, and take time to write them down. Sometimes I hear coaches say, hey, I want to become a diamond coach, but what does that mean to you? Like, how are you going to feel when you become a diamond coach? But not only that, do you know what it takes to get there? So really taking time to write your goals down, to be specific about them, to put a timer on them. And we always say to dream big and to set crazy goals, but they have to also be realistic in the sense that you know what it takes to get there, and you're willing to make the work, to do the work to get there as well. So breaking it down in chunks of monthly activities, weekly activities, daily activities is something that's very important. One question that I ask myself, and I'm asking you to ask yourself, is if you could be good or excellent, if you could be excellent at one skill, and that skill would have the greatest impact in your business, in your life right now, what would it be? And this is how I really set my focus. So for sometimes I will have a period of time when I'm going to work on my beliefs, or I'm going to work on new ways to build my business on social media. So I want to ask you right now, what do you think is the thing that is holding you back right now? Or what is the skill that you need to master to get to the next level? So after Summit, we had a few workshops. We had workshops on social media. We had workshops on the art of invitation and how we talk to people. And I want you to think about what you should be working on right now. So the second step is to create a calendar of activities. Now, it doesn't matter what you're using. I love Google Calendar. I love working with also a paper agenda, but I feel like you need to have a tool to lay out your activities and know exactly what you're going to be doing. And step 3 is to always work with a to-do list. For me, the worst thing I can do to lose my focus is if I sit down in front of my computer, I open Facebook, and I just go with the flow. Before I do that, I sit down, I take a pen and paper, and I'm like, okay, what am I going to start with today? What time is it now? What am I going to do for the next half hour? And then I'm like, go. So we have the business activity tracker. That's a great tool, and it has all the activities that you should be accomplishing in a day. But for me, just taking the time to say, hey, right now I'm going to start by clearing my inbox or checking in my groups. For me, it's more clarity, and it allows me to stay focused, because I don't know about you, but when I'm on Facebook, on social media, and I'm working my business, it's very easy to get distracted by notifications, by news feeds. So it's just taking that little step to write it down, for me, helps me really stay focused. And then example, for me, in a day, I'm going to share with you 4 things that are the most important things that I do to move my business forwards. And you're going to say they're very basic, but you have to master the basic before you're able to move to the next level. And for me, I always start by leading myself. So that means, number 1, I use the products and I do personal development. So I'm going to do my workout. I'm going to do my personal development. It sets the day for me. It makes I get in a good spirit. If I can win the morning, get up early before the kids get up, I feel like I'm already winning the day. So this is something that's very important. And then number 2 is I will talk to people, start new conversations every day, invite to my challenge groups and to the coaching opportunity. That step 2, I feel sometimes is put aside, and we procrastinate because we might be scared to invite. We might have limiting beliefs about the whole thing. And I hear sometimes coaches that this is the point that they struggle most. So if you eat that frog first, if you train yourself to go for the thing that scares you, and also the thing that you know is going to help you move your business forward, you're going to win the day as well. Number 3 is to add value on social media. So being consistent with my social media is super important. So I'm present on Facebook, on Instagram. So wherever you decide to focus on building your business, make sure that you're consistent and you're showing up every day. People are going to start trusting you and start to get to know you. And that's something that's on my list every single day. And then number 4 is to clear my inbox and follow up with people. And what does that mean, clear my inbox? When I work with my Facebook inbox or my emails, I always start with the oldest message first, and I clear everything to be up to date. So if I have people messaging me while I'm answering my messages, I don't respond right away. I make sure that I'm up to date for that day. And then I'll go to the people that I need to follow up with, the people that are closest, more advanced in my invitation process, if you will. I'll start with them first because they're almost ready to buy. So this is how I prioritize. So there's so many things we can do to build our business. And I know, like, coming out of Summit, we have so many ideas. But again, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but mastering the basics, making sure that you do those vital behaviors first. This is the foundation of your business, and you want to make sure that you're building a solid foundation for your business. Now, I have a few tools that I use to stay focused and organize my time. And of course, a tracker. A tracker is key. I remember when I first started as a coach, my upline diamond told me, you need to do your basics every day. You need to invite 2 people, follow up with 5, etc. And I would take pen and paper and make sure, right? I would write the date. I would write the number of messages that I responded to, the number of follow-ups, the number of contacts I added to my list, the number of people I invited to the challenge group, the number of people I invited to become a coach on my team. Every single day I would do that, and I would go post it on the team page to stay accountable to my goals, and that worked for me. That helped me become extremely consistent with my business. Also, having a tracker is so key when you want to beat your best with the challenge we're going to have. So let's say that your best month ever was 20 Success Club points, and you decide that for the next month you want to double it. If you've been tracking your business and you know exactly how many people you've invited last month to reach that 20 Success Club point goal, you're going to have to double that number of people you're talking to. So I feel like it's super important to track your business, not only for yourself, but also if you're chatting with your sponsor, your upline, you want to get some help. For me, if a coach comes to me, the first thing I want to do is look at their tracker, ask questions, what they're doing as their personal development, what program they're doing, how many people they're talking to every day. That helps me help them. Finding a success partner is so key. I feel like when you're working with someone else, it helps you stay accountable. That's what we do as coaches. We create those online fitness groups, and it keeps our customers accountable to their goals because they're not alone in this. So finding someone to work with is so key. And after coming out of Summit, it's a really, really good time to form those new relationships and start building and working with people that have similar goals. And if you're looking for places to find success partners, I mean, if you don't have a team page that you're part of, go on a Beachbody Champions page and just share who you are and say that you're looking for a success partner. And I'm sure you're going to find someone that has similar goals as you. Now, the next one is really important, and helps me so much to stay focused, is to challenge myself. So I sit down, I start to work, and sometimes I will literally use a timer. You can use your phone or you can go online, find a timer, and I'll say, okay, in the next 30 minutes, my goal is to invite as many people as I can for my next challenge group. So I am like, 1, 2, 3, go. And I stay focused. So when I see something pop, or maybe a new video in my newsfeed that sounds interesting that I would like to go click on, I remind myself that no, I'm working on my invites right now, and this is the focus that I have, and it helps me just get it done. I sometimes also will write on a Post-it and put it right on my computer and make sure that I stay focused on that, because I don't know about you, but I can get distracted. So I've created an environment that allows me to stay a lot more focused. Then another one that you can do, like, we are our own bosses, right? There's no one that's going to fire us if we're not getting the job done. So we have to become our own best friend with the business and our own best leader. And I want you to imagine that if your coach was sitting beside you and watching what you're doing while you're working, like, would you be proud of yourself? And also, if your coaches on your team would duplicate what you're doing in a day, would they get the results that they should get? The next one is about fighting procrastination, and I'm pretty strong on affirmations, on visualization, and on mantras. And this one sentence helps me so much to get back on focus if I lose track. And I ask myself this constantly: is this the activity that I should be doing right now to move myself closer to reaching my goals? And if I find myself watching YouTube videos that are not related to what I'm doing right now, I'm like, okay, no, this is not the thing that I should be doing right now to move closer to my goals. Another one is to work in blocks. And I feel like sometimes we will thrive on being busy. Like, you were doing so many things at the same time. And we know now that multitasking is not very efficient. You're not 100% focused on every task. So for me, I really work one task at a time in blocks. So I'm not going to go check the notifications in groups unless it's the time that I set up to check in my groups. So I really work in blocks like that. Another one is to take breaks. I find myself sometimes just wanting to finish this and one last thing and one last thing. And I need to force myself to get off my chair, move a little, go get some water, do something else, because I feel like at one point I lose focus. So every 45 to 50 minutes or so after getting work very focused, I will get up and go move my body, do something else, and just change my mind for maybe 10, 15 minutes. And then I can get back to work and my focus is better after that. Scheduling your task is so important too. So I know sometimes it can be a struggle, especially I have 3 kids, 3 young kids. Building the business while they were at home with me, sometimes it was kind of hard to say at 10 a.m. in the morning, I'll be inviting when I don't know who's going to wake up, who's going to need me, but at least knowing what task you need to accomplish in a day and working in these pockets of time. Maybe you'll have 15 minutes there, or maybe you'll have half an hour there, and scheduling it, just like knowing that you're going to get it done, is important. This one is huge for me, is to eliminate distractions. Like I said, I did build my business sometimes with my kids playing around, but nothing will replace having a focused hour when I'm not distracted by anything. So coming in my office, even maybe sometimes going to a cafe, or getting a place where I'm not going to be distracted and I'm not going to have people running around. For me, I can get so much more done if I'm that environment where I can use speed, and you can download it. You can add it with Chrome, Google Chrome, and it's going to block your Facebook newsfeed. So I don't know about you, but it's like my eyes are trying to look for the newsfeed. So having that on my Google when I work on Facebook is helping me a lot to stay on track, and turning notifications from groups. Like when you become a coach too, you're added to all kinds of new groups. And for me, I want to have control on my time. So I decide when I go in the groups. So I always turn off notifications unless it's like a team cup team. I'll have my few groups here and there that I want to focus on more, but be intentional about that and make sure that you're turning off the groups, the notification of the groups, that you don't have to be aware of everything that's going on every second of the day. Disconnecting from Facebook. If you're not working on Facebook, if you're working from emails or doing something else, sometimes I feel like just doing the action of disconnecting from Facebook helps me disconnect from Facebook. And the last one is to dedicate a workspace. So kind of the same idea of eliminating distractions. And next one is about training your brain. Again, for me, it still is a work that I have to do every single day to remind myself, to make sure that I'm not procrastinating. It's not something that I take for granted. So if you feel like this is something that you want to work on, align your personal development with that idea of staying focused. So I'm a huge fan of Brian Tracy. I love the book, Eat That Frog, Maximum Achievement Goals, or one of my best books this year that I read beginning of the year is High Performance Habits from Brendon Burchard. For me, that was a big takeaway, and the whole idea of seeking clarity is helping me a lot every single day to maximize my time. And then I shared a bit of these tools that I use, my agenda, my Google Calendar. I feel it's very useful. I can synchronize it with my phone, so I can put my personal appointments and also everything that's related to Beachbody in there. Equity scheduling is another tool that I use to schedule my one-on-one calls with my team. So I set out hours that I am available, and then they take an appointment with me. So I'm always sure that I'm taking care of my business too in the day, which is my invitations to the business and to the challenge groups and everything that I need to do for my own business. And then I set up time for the team. The business activity tracker, I talked about it, but any tracker that you're using, we have the Walker, Jogger, Runner too, that I'm a huge fan of, and we translated it in French for our team. So whatever tracker you're using, make sure that you're using one. And another tool that I love is Google Drive. I have all my documents there, and one of the most important documents that I have is what I call my master document, where I have an Excel spreadsheet with all my templates for, let's say, talk about different programs, or templates for when we have a new program coming out. And I want to, every time I have a message that I repeat twice, I'm going to make sure that I have a script that's there. And I'm not huge on copy pasting. I think we should have a conversation with people, but sometimes it's just a matter of giving information. So all my templates are there. And also I'll have URL links to Google Documents. So instead of having to go find a document, download it to my computer and share it with someone, I keep the link. And I do the same with YouTube videos, maybe that I refer people to or my coaches to. So everything is in that master document. So when I work, I have access to all of that. I don't have to go in my online office all the time. I don't have to go search on YouTube or go on Google Drive. I can just use the link and send it to people. And then working with a contact list, especially with the years when you're adding more people, I feel like sometimes at first when we start talking to people, you're like, well, I'm just going to go through my Facebook inbox and it's going to be fine. But the more you have people you're talking to, the harder it becomes to follow up and keep track of your messages. So just having a basic spreadsheet, again, for me, it's very simple. Have the name of the person, where I'm talking to them, like, is it on my Facebook like page? Is it on Instagram? I have their URL linked to their Facebook account or their email. I try to collect email as much as I can. So I'll have that. And then I'll put a little bit of notes of what we talked about. So it's very easy for me when I want to follow up to know exactly who to talk to. And I will put the date too that we had our first contact. So that will help me know, okay, if I want to follow up with all the people I talked to in May, I can go back there and I'll follow up with them. And that's it. I think I covered it out.
No, you're great, Emilie. So there's a lot of content there, and that represents 5 years. I think 5 years of learning and iteration. So I mean, coaches, from the standpoint of, and if I were in your shoes, what I would do, I have the luxury of having her script, kind of at least a guideline of what she's done there that locks that out. But particularly on some of those first pieces, I would go back, I would listen to this, and I would just press pause on this. And I'd say, okay, am I doing this? Have I got this? Am I doing this? Have I got this? Am I doing this? And I'm just watching some of the comments as well on the live feed. And there's a number of other seasoned veteran coaches, if you will, with great experience that are also saying, here's a great way to ask that question that might resonate. But, one of the things that Emilie talked about was the business activity tracker and tracking. And I just completed I won't put it up as a shared screen, but this is, you can't see it, but it's the Maverick tracker. Okay. And you go, okay, every single day, Joel says, are you tracking? Are you growing? Are you improving? Likewise, when she refers to the business activity tracker, many of you may not be familiar with that document, but you can go to the back office, just search business activity tracker, and that will be there. I find a lot of people don't want to use the business activity tracker because they're going, I don't want to see what I'm not doing. But the whole idea of this is to keep track of what you are doing and to keep you serious and to keep you focused on those things that are most important in your business. So 2 questions, Emilie, and then we're going to have to wrap up. You gave some great insights on specific tools that you use to keep yourself organized and to execute on the things that are most important in your business. What I want you to do now is to helicopter back up to the concept of goals and coming out of Summit, and how this comes back up to the accomplishment of goals. And then we're going to end with just the good old question of 5 years later, Beachbody, what has that meant to you? So,
yes. So after coming back from Summit, for me, like, if I were you right now, I'd be sitting down and just making time to write down my goals I like to plan a year ahead of time. I want you to think about your vision for next year. If you went to Summit alone, maybe you want to bring other people with you. Who are you going to be with? I remember my first Summit watching from the top of the arena, but seeing people walking on stage and looking at my husband and telling him, I'm going to be walking on stage next year. I'm going to be there one day because I believed in myself. And I want you guys to believe that you deserve to be successful and you deserve to achieve those goals that you're setting out for yourself. And if I could do myself and just think about all the amazing stories that you've seen at Summit, or maybe you're here on a national wake-up call, and get inspired by these stories and know that you have everything inside of you to achieve these goals. Just have to believe in yourself, take time to sit down, put that on paper, and lay those activities that will help you reach them.
You know, I won't click to video, but I'll talk over this. Is just the theme of Summit was believe in you. And when you say believe in you, you know, a big piece of the theme also was, yes, you have to believe in you, but then where the real belief comes is in the implementation, is in the doing. That's where your belief will slowly increase, get greater and greater. So that's where the clarity comes. That's where the magic, I don't want to use magic from a magic, but that's where, you know, the results come in the business. Okay, last question then. Emilie, you and Team Beachbody, how's life changed?
Where do I start? It's changed so much. Every time I think about that, I was thinking about the call when we were at Summit, telling my husband, here's what I think I'm going to share. And I was like, okay. It has changed so much because, first of all, it taught me to dream bigger and bigger. So for me, when I first started, I wanted to be able to, you know, stay at home with my son, but still bring an income for the family, still have a financial independence. So for me, that was the first goal. And then I was able to get that. And then after that, I started to dream bigger. And I thought, what if Damien, my husband, didn't have to work so many hours at work, and he could be more present with the kids. And that one day, working towards our goals, growing our income, growing our team, he was able to take a leave of absence and stay home with our daughter, Callie, and Leo back then, and be very present and help me continue to build this business. And then we had this crazy, well, it sounded crazy, goal of having him come home and retire. And he was able to retire from his job as a power line technician. He retired at 30, and we became success partners, business partners. And that's a dream of ours that we cherished for so long. We had that idea that we wanted to start a business. We just wanted to be together and be able to enjoy our family together. And that Beachbody has allowed us to do so. And the last thing that it gave us is freedom, and freedom of time, and freedom to build our schedule around our number one priority, which is our family. And when our baby Jack was born, we found out that he needed heart surgery after my postnatal check with him. And he was only 2 weeks when we found out he needed heart surgery. And it was probably one of the hardest moments of our life. But at that time, we switched our focus to gratitude very fast, because we were grateful that the nurse had found that he needed a checkup. We were grateful that we were in a place where he was well taken care of. And we were so grateful that we didn't have to think about taking time off of work or worry that we wouldn't have money coming in because we had to take care of him. We could really focus on being present with him. And he had multiple checkups. He's doing fantastic right now. But that was one of the moments where it had such a huge impact to just be able to focus on him and have this amazing community and our team to just focus on what matters most, which is our health and our family.
Well, that's a great way to end. And I just you know, we talk about, I'm going to put in this little income disclaimer here, which is always kind of the downer, right? But you know what? I always think the income disclaimer for us is it's one, it's necessary. Two, it's so important, because what it says is it means that what people have accomplished. One, you know what, results vary, right? It's like a workout program, but it depends on the effort that's put in. It depends on the time that's put in. It depends on the degree of skill set that you develop in this business, the number of people that you help in this business, and success is dependent on those things, and it should depend on those things. The good things should come to people that invest at that level. And so we've got Emilie on this call, and she just shared some of the things that how her life has changed, and emotionally, physically, financially, all those things. It's dependent on her ability just not to be the master of information, but become a master of implementation. So with that, Emilie, I'm just going to say thank you so much. And just coming off of Summit, I know this added an extra degree of pressure, but you just rocked it like always. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
You bet, our pleasure. So coaches, I'm actually going to end with something that Emilie said on stage at Summit. And it's simply this. One is you have to have a bias for action. There are 6 days left in the month of June. And sometimes we always think, okay, I got to take all this information. What I've got to do is that I've got to master all of it. No, you have to have a bias for action, even when the end in mind is a bit uncertain. You have to keep moving because directionally you will be going the right way. But you've got to be acting today, doing what she talked about today. She talked at the first of her call about the importance of having conversations every day and inviting people every day to your challenge groups, to your sneak peeks, and then adding value. That needs to start now. So my challenge is finish the month strong. And then, of course, next month we have the Beat Your Best. And one of the things that Emilie said on stage when she came up was, she said, every time that we approach this, we did three things. One, I'm looking down at my notes to make sure that I get it right, but she said, we would do something that was scary to us, that we've never done before, and that would grow our business. As you look at this next month of Beat Your Best, do something that's scary. Be willing to scare yourself from the standpoint of saying, man, if I did that, but it makes you a little bit nervous, something that you've never accomplished before. That's what the month is about, and something that will grow your business. And then she has given you so many great tools, so many great insights as to how to make that happen. So, guys, there is just so much happening. Check into TB411 for all of the announcements, everything. But at the end of the day, don't be a master of information. That won't do diddly squat for your business. You got to be a master of implementation. That's where the results come. So with that, Sandy, I'll toss it back to you. Thank you so much, Emilie. Have a great week, everybody. Make it a great week.
Hey, Jeff, I was just thinking that when you say that this is a call, it's not really a phone call. It's the National Wake Up Call to Action. So that is why we call it a call. Yeah, thank you. Mentos drop. And if you'll indulge me for 1 second, because Jeff did ask me to talk about the podcast. Also, I know you're all wondering if Emilie even went to bed last night, because she had perfect eye makeup and the bed was made. Anyway, podcast. A lot of you have been asking why the podcast isn't up to date. Well, I'm just going to show you mine right now. If you can see it, well, if it says Ellie Moore from last week, which is exactly who was on the call last week. And also, I want to share my screen. If you ever are in doubt, you can go to the Team Beachbody podcast on the Apple site. You'll see that every single one is up there every single week. I'm actually finding out what happened to 611 over here, which was Carl Deichler's call. So I am going to check in on that. But what I wanted to say is that everybody uses a different podcast app. And you can check your settings on the frequency of how often you want the podcast to be delivered to you. Immediately, hourly, weekly, the last one first. So we update the National Wake Up Call podcast right after I hang up from this call. We send an audio file over to Apple and they upload it within several hours at the most. So if you're not finding the podcast on your episode, on your podcast app, delete it, re-upload, take a look at the settings. But I'm hoping that you can find a way to get back into the rhythm of getting these delivered to you the minute that they are uploaded. So that's it. Thanks for indulging me. Have a great week, everybody. We've got some work to do here, right? All right. Bye-bye, everybody.